Good morning. It's lovely to see you this morning. Here we are in August and we're joining together for our children and family slot. So whether it's your first time or you've been here every week, well done to you. It's lovely to be together again. And as you can see, Birthday Bear is absolutely desperate to get started because he knows there are names in the bag today. So should we find out who's had a birthday? So this week we are singing happy birthday to those people who had a birthday in August so far. And I know that some of them were really quite young. We have a first birthday amongst our mix. And also I know that one of the people, it's their birthday today. So are you in good voice, CSK and all our friends? Should we have a little practice? La 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 la. Oh, sounding good. What do you think? Yeah. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear George and Emily and Elijah and Seb. Happy birthday to you. Beautiful singing. Give yourselves a round of applause. Say bye-bye there. Go and sit back on your chair. There we are. Well, we hope that they had a lovely birthday, and we also hope that anybody in your household who's celebrating a birthday today has a lovely time. So, before we go any further, I really need to update my first aid for the soul box because over the last 2 weeks we haven't had a children and family slot in the same way. 1 week it was our service all together, and you may have seen Silver and I having a little game of top trumps. And also last week, it was just a little craft film to enjoy. So I hope you had fun making a shelter. So I've got those 2 psalms to put in, Psalm 2 and Psalm 18 from the last 2 Sundays. I've also got 3 psalms that we've used on Facebook Live Prayer on a Tuesday night, which you and your parents might be tuning into. So we've got Psalm 89, that was Toby's choice this week, Psalm 30 and Psalm 97. We've also got some psalms that we've used in our team morning prayers on a Monday morning. So I'm going to put them in as well. There's 46 and 44. So how are you doing with your box? There's quite a few in there now. And we're going to put in another one today. And we'll come to that in just a moment. So I've been having a look around my house because it's quite a good time of year to have a little bit of a tidy up. I've been trying. I'm not doing that well in my study at the moment. There's a lot of things everywhere, and there's going to be a lot of things we need to use in just a moment. But in my house, I do particularly like some items that I've been given as presents, and I'm just going to show you a few, and you can see what the connection is. So here's one of them, and there's another one. This is another one. This is normally hanging on a mirror. Another one. This is made of glass. See it shining there. Some wooden ones. And I've got this one. So what was the connection? Can you shout it out? You're right. They're all hearts. And what do we think of when we think of hearts? You may see some on the wall behind me. Well, it automatically makes me think about love. It makes me think of it's a symbol of love. And also for me, all of these hearts that I've been given as a gift. This one particularly is special because this was made for me by a child that I taught some years ago. They'd be a teenager now. And this hangs on the door to my study. In fact, most of them hang on a door handle. These ones here, the wooden ones, they were given to me by my older sister. So again, they're very special. So across my house, I have a number of hearts hanging on the door handles and hanging on a mirror in my bedroom. But I've also got this one. I think actually this was given to me by someone at CSK. And you will see on it, it's got a verse from a psalm. God is our refuge and strength, always there in times of trouble. So every time I look at that, I read that verse and think, yes, it's good to be reminded about that. So to help us be reminded today about the psalm that we're going to look at, we're just going to make some hearts door hangings of our own. Now, you don't have to hang them on the door handle. You could hang them anywhere in your house. Make sure you ask permission if it's not in your bedroom. But the key thing about this is to put them somewhere where you will see them every day. And we're going to come back to why that is in just a little while. So, can you remember all the items I asked you to bring with you this week? Yes, it was our trusty cereal box, or a tissue box, or as I had with me, my box that had my tea bags in. If you didn't have any of those and you had an old birthday card, you could also use one of those and actually use the picture on the card. That would be fine as well. And I also said to have some paper so you could make a template. And the template was the shape of a heart. So I've done 2 here. So all I did was I folded my paper in half. I drew half a heart on the paper and then I cut it out so that it was equal on each side. So which one shall I use? I think I'm going to use the big one just to show you what to do next. So you then flatten out your card and you place your template on your card. Try and get it close to the edge so you can get in as many as possible. It doesn't have to be as small as my templates. It could be much bigger, or you might decide to go much smaller. You might decide to have 3 hearts hanging down one after the other. That's entirely your choice. So draw around your template. Just about see that. Yes, can you see here? Draw around the template, and when you've done that, cut it out. If you need some help, ask an adult to help you with that. So here's one that I made earlier. So this was on quite thick card, and that was a bit harder to cut. Once you've got your card, or your heart card, then just make a whole lot of decoration on it, and I've got a few to show you. It doesn't matter how you do it, make it really individual to you. You might like to use felt tips, that's fine. You might like to paint it, that's fine too. You might like to use a whole variety. Sequins, glitter, buttons, wool, pipe cleaners, all kinds of things. So if you're going to do it like that, make sure you set up a nice clear area on a table, put something down that will protect your table from the glue, and just get busy. And here are a few that I've made. So this one here, I put felt tip on the background, and then I've used some foam shapes and just stuck them on. That's nice and colourful. I've got one here that I've used, what can you think of in the Bible where we might have had those colours? There's a little clue behind me. Let's see if we can point to it. There's a clue on this person here. Pentecost, that's right. So I've used the colours of the Pentecost flames, and I've used tissue paper for that one. Made a little collage. This one, I haven't done anything. I just used a greetings card and I've cut it out, but I've cut it at quite a strange angle so you can see it was actually a tree. And I've made another one from the same card. There was some writing in the corner, so I've just stuck some stars in that corner to cover it. You could add more as well. So those are just a few ideas. Now we're going to be looking at Psalm 136 today, and I've cut out one verse from the Psalm. And so this is another idea. You could use the key verse from the Psalm we're going to look at, cut it out, write it on a piece of coloured card, cut it out and put it in the middle, and then create your collage around it. You don't have to do the verse on it, that's fine, but that's just another way of doing it. So I've scrunched up some paper and put it around the edge and started to make a collage, and I can finish that later. So however you decorate your heart, make it nice and bright, and as I said, we're going to put it somewhere really prominent in our house, somewhere where we see it every day. Well, what do we need then on our heart if we want to be able to hang it on our door? You're right, we need some kind of loop. So you could use a variety of things. I have made a little plaque with some wool. I do it that way. I could just use a single piece of wool. I could use a piece of paper if I was going to put it on a notice board somewhere in the house, maybe next to the calendar. But I'm actually going to use a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to use my sellotape and just stick it on the back. Now this is going to be telling, isn't it? Because I didn't find the end before we started. There it is. I found it. Can you hear it? So Got a piece of sellotape. I've got, I could either use a glittery kind of pipe cleaner, but I'm going to use this nice fuzzy one that I've got. It's quite long. Can you see? I'm just going to stick it behind there and stick the sellotape on. There we are. So there's the sellotape on the back, and everything that I want to look at is up the front. And I can hang that on the door handle, and every time I go past, I will see it. So, why do I want to see it? Why do I want you to see it every day? Well, let's dive into the Bible and find out why. So, have you got your Bible with you? We're going to look at Psalm 136. And I've written that on a piece of card, and I'm going to put it straight in my first aid for the soul box so I don't forget it. Psalms are in the middle of the Bible. We know that they're in the Old Testament, and this psalm is 136, and I'm going to read it from the NIV version, but I'm not going to read all of it. But I want you to listen out to the line that I say more than once. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords. His love endures forever. Those were the first 3 verses. What did I repeat? Have a little chat with your family. Have you come to a decision? Yeah? Shout it out then. You're right. I read, his love endures forever 3 times in those 3 verses. And in another translation of the Bible, it's written this way, his love is eternal. Or in the Message, it says, his love never quits. And in the Passion text, his tender love continues on forever. So in the 26 verses of this Bible reading of Psalm 136, that line is said in every single verse. His love endures forever. His love endures forever. And I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm going to jump down to verse 16. Can you find it? To him who led his people through the desert, his love endures forever. We talked about that in Sunday school, didn't we? In our groups, Glow, Shine and Illuminate. And if we jump across to verse 23. To the one who remembered us in our low estate, his love endures forever. And freed us from our enemies, his love endures forever. And who gives food to every creature, his love endures forever. And the very final verses, give thanks to the God of heaven. You know what's coming next. His love endures forever. So we could go back through that reading, and it tells us so much of how God's love has endured in the past, how the people who believed in God and had travelled with God and had journeyed with God and their faith had grown, or they'd encountered really tough times, they could look back and know that God's love had endured forever. And we can do that in our own lives, can't we? So what I want you to do this week is, when you've made your heart, put it somewhere where you will see it every day. And then every time you see it, say to yourself, or even better, say out loud, his love endures forever. His love is everlasting. His love will continue to go on forever and ever, for you and for me. And that's why I've joined all my little heart shapes together today on this continuous journey. So let's just take a moment to think about that and how that verse has been real to us in our lives already, however young or old we are. Have you had a think? I can think of lots of times as well. So let's just pray together. Glow Bear is here ready. And we're just going to be still and quiet. And I'm just going to say that verse 3 times. And in between each little space I give, try and think of something in your life and you can say, yes, God was with me and he was continuing to love me. His love will go on forever. Let's pray. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. His love endures forever. His love endures forever. Amen. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have a great week and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care of yourself and take care of your family. Bye-bye.